Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Opened the Gate of Alchemy and awaken all the abilities. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto. Soul was taken by the Shinigami over in Anime King 3 and enjoy that guys, and over in Making 2 I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto got his powers from a dying god, so go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, for new and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto had burned down the list of the two competitors, as it was Anko and Hana. Kurina was good, but her skill sets were not what he was exactly looking for. As Harrison made the both of them fought, it ended up being a double knockout as they knocked out each other. As Naruto went over the listing of their skills and abilities, but Harrison had a better idea. Konoha was usually made up of a 3-man team, so how about 2 of them together? As Naruto seemed to agree with that, Harrison then explained to the girls what was going to happen, as they surprised to hear about Naruto's abilities. After all, they never heard about anything like that before. And so with that, they trained. 10 years passed, as Naruto was now 16 years old, as he and his alchemist group that consists of Anko and Hana, as they were currently on a hunt for 2 brothers. They were on a drug known as Sin, as it made them a lot stronger. As Naruto found that Mizuki was one of them, he was the one that was in charge of the 2 idiot brothers. Naruto and his group had fought Mizuki as he had tried to escape with a scroll of sailing not too long ago, and he was placed in prison, but he was able to escape, as Naruto took him on while the girls took on the idiot brothers. After dealing with Mizuki, Naruto made his way over towards them. With the 2 brothers, as strong as they were, not to mention on the drug called Sen, they were tough as hell. As Naruto slammed his hand down and rose up at least 100 armor suits. By the time the envoys arrived there, the 2 brothers were captured, as they promised that they wouldn't do it again. They were not really bad, they were just, well, stupid. So with that, they reported back to the Hokage, while Naruto did. He was going to a celebration in Zaka's for Kiba past the Academy. But Harrison wanted to ask him a favor, as he wanted Naruto to take Genins from the team and add them to his. Genins who were going to be graduating very soon. After all, the exam was already given, and Kiba had passed along with a few others, most of them being clan heirs. As Naruto was upset when he saw the listing, he did not trust Sasuke after what Itachi did. Itachi had massacred his entire clan, as Naruto learned about the Sharingan, as he was sure that it could not copy his alchemist, but if they were to learn the ruins and learn about alchemy, perhaps they could. As Naruto spoke to the girls about this, but they decided to keep it off until tomorrow as they celebrate that night. As Naruto woke up next morning with Tasumi in his bed, and it seems like it was not a first, judging by everyone's reactions, as Tasumi didn't seem to mind one bit. They had to go the next day though, and start their morning, as the group was adamant on telling Hiruzen no. as that would just spoil up their team dynamic, and with the way everything was set, it seems like they would get the Uchiha, but they didn't want Sasuke in their team. No in hell did they want Sasuke in their team. So yeah guys, it was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check out the other episodes if you haven't caught up yet. Remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto got his power from Dying God over in Anime King 2. And on Anime King 3 I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Soul was taken by the Shinigami, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get straight into this brand new episode? Let's start it up guys. Naruto and his team, and numerous other Jonin stood in front of Hiruzen. Well Naruto, have you and your team decided? We have, Lord Hokage, said Naruto. It felt odd to Naruto and Hiruzen hearing Naruto call him Lord Hokage, but appearances had to be kept. Team Alchemy has regretfully declined the position of training Genins, as we looked over the files that you presented us with, and none of them would fit our team dynamic. A scoff had Naruto turn his head to see Kakashi with his head buried in his book. Do you have something to add, Hatake, said Naruto. As the one-eyed Jonin looked up towards him, you're the same age, and yet you think you have the right to make decisions, said Kakashi. As Naruto smirked, jealous Hatake, he said, the only person in this room that outranked me is Hokage, and I answer only to him. Don't think I forgot that stunt you pulled 6 months ago. Kakashi closed his book. You have far too much freedom and power. I was asked by the council to watch and report, which made me question your loyalties to the Hokage. If you go around him and answer to a political body that is only there to advise him, said Naruto, as Hana and Anko turned to face Kakashi as well. As the others backed off, they have a right to know the resources that Konoha has as well. Negative, my skills are mine, my clans, and my children. When and if I have any, said Naruto. Just because you stole a bloodline from your dying teammate doesn't mean that it's open season on everyone else's abilities. Next time I find you in my apartment, Hatake, I will guarantee you will become a real Cyclops, said Naruto. Kakashi narrowed his gaze. Is that a threat, he said. No, it's a promise. And you know I keep my promises. Enough, Hiruzen said. Kakashi, you were warned and punished. Naruto, stand down. As you wish, said Naruto, as he calmed himself. I had hoped that you would take a team, but alas, well, the girls and I are willing to work with a team led by Asuma and Kurenai. That is if he can get his ass up before noon, said Naruto. Hey, Asuma said. Runt. Lazy ass, said Naruto. Why not my team, said Kakashi. Oh, did you say something, Kakashi, said Naruto. Yush! Kakashi, it seems like you have a rival with your hip attitude, said Guy. Whatever, said Kakashi. As, finally, that was pulled back on him. He always did to Guy, as Guy was smirking, rather happily. The Hokage handed Asuma, Kurenai, and Kakashi their team folders, then several other Jonins came forward and took theirs. Once the Hokage dismissed them, Naruto and his team remained behind. We got word that the jugs are coming from a root passage through the sand, the Hokage said. Ibiki got Mizuki crying, and under a minute and the Bash brothers told him everything, their entire life growing up. As Naruto shook his head, they're not really bad guys, you know, just stupid. As Hiruzen nodded along. Your team is to head out. You will be joined by Hayate and a pair of Chunins, Izumo and Katetsu. Anko groaned. Come on, anyone but those two. How about you give us Guy and his Genin team instead? As Hana snickered as Naruto sighed. So we get the walking disease and the two stooges. We'll meet them at the gate in about an hour. Hayate will have the mission profile and details. You know what to do, Hiruzen said. As the group nodded, good luck, he told them. As the three of them made their way through the window, he sighed in annoyance. Is it too hard to use the door? Time skip. Are we there yet? Hana and Naruto shared a look, wondering if they could get rid of the two Chunins. Ew, disease. Take care of your two toddlers, Uncle said. Hey, we're not children, said Katetsu. Fooled us, Hana said. As Naruto sighed, I swear the old man is punishing us by not choosing a Genin team, as Naruto usually liked them, but not on missions. Hey, Naruto, Izumo said. No, we're not there yet, said Naruto, as he continued to leap from tree to tree. I wasn't going to ask that, but that will be okay. said Izumo as he shared a look with Kitetsu. Then what do you want? Is it true that you bagged Tatsumi Nozaka? The hail of shurikens from Hana, Anko, and Naruto left the Chunin's pinned to a tree, and the group kept on moving. Kitetsu stopped as he pulled the man free. What? You should know better than to ask that question. Hey, you were thinking the same thing. And she's rather hot for someone her age. Kitetsu sighed. True. But I think that Hana or Anko would kill any other people that get in arm reach. I heard they had a rather long talk with Ayam from the truck ramen stand. I heard it took her 2 weeks to leave the stand. Yeah, I heard that too. Not to mention that foreign girl they hand over to Ibiki, as both Chunin shot her. I think I agree with Shikaku Nara. Yeah, women are really troublesome. As he caught up with the group. Time skip. It's not my fault, said Naruto, as he looked toward the smoldering Hana and Anko. Well, who the hell blew up the lab? Anko said that hiss. They did, said Naruto as he pointed towards Izumo and Kitetsu. Both Chunin who were sifting through the remains of the drug lab froze. Liar! Both of them says they backed up, putting Hayate between them. As the two Kunoichi started to march towards them. As Ed was on the ground, his tail was burning slightly as he was growling at the pair of them. Hayate realized where he was as he flashed away in the sunshine, leaving the two to take their revenge on the two of them. You both were playing with explosive tags near to the chemicals, he said, coughing. Hana growled. Come here, she said in a sweet tone, as the two men backed away, as Anko was rather silent, which was scary knowing her, as she pulled out two pair of kunais. You shit stain not only blew up the evidence, but you allow those bastards to get away with your stupid games. But you nearly blew us up as well. Izumo looked towards his partner, who knew that chemical was so sensitive. Naruto sighed. Maybe the big ass warning sign should have been the first clue. Hayate coughed. As sure as I am that I would enjoy watching you guys. Tonally crap out of them. What should we do now, he said, with another cough. Either we head to the stand and see if we can pick up a trail, or we head back and report that the lab and the evidence was destroyed, said Naruto. Truthfully, I prefer to return to the old man with something other than a mission failure, said Naruto. We will see if we can pick up any leads at the stand because the routes pass right through there, said Naruto. As Naruto looked towards Hayate, we should split our team here. As Hayate nodded, we will report back what is going on. Can we go with them? Izumo said. No! The five of them shouted, as Ed finally noticed his tail was still smoking as he put it out. Tell the old man that we will find what we see, and we will send word if we need help. Preferably not those two. Hayate coughed and nodded. They're going to be on long-term guard duty after this, he said. Both Chunin winced. Not the gate, please. Anywhere but the gate, Izumo said. You could be teaching at the academy with the little kids, said Naruto, as both men froze up. Yeah, we'll take the gate duty. As with that, the group decided to split apart and head their opposite ways. Time skip. As Naruto and Anko remained behind as they started to search anything they could find, they found a couple of documents that were not that badly burned and a few discs. As they sealed them away, as Hana returned with the triplets, picked up a trail. They were heading towards the sand, but it's slow. The person is injured. From the step markings, their left leg is hurt. Naruto slapped both hands together and slammed to the ground as a suit of armor rose from the earth. Hey Al, said Naruto. During the years trained together, Al had become part of their team. Oh hey Uncle-chan, Hana-chan, brothers, Alphonse said, as he waved his steel hand. Al, pay attention, said Naruto, as the armor turned towards him. I need you to catch up with Hayate and the two stooges, and have them give this information to the old man, said Naruto. They're to give it to no one else. Al took the charred documents and computer disk. As he looked around, did you lose your temper again, he asked, as he slipped the documents in his empty chest cavity. No, I did not lose my temper, said Naruto. Steady, brother. I think you've been hanging around with it too much. Your temper is on a hair trigger, and with you being so small, the temperature in the area dropped as both Hana and Anko stepped back as they saw the deadly look in Naruto's eyes. Oh, this is not gonna end well, both women said at the same time, as Ed watched. Man, my family's not right in the head, he said, as Naruto slammed his hand together and a massive cannon came out of the ground. Tuh, I was never that hot-headed, said Ed, as the explosion went off. I'm sorry, Al said as he ran for his life, as he ran away, as the cannon blasted after him several shots, but he was already gone. As Naruto growled angrily, Oh, he's gonna get it when we get home. Hannah sighed. If you're done abusing him, how about we get on the trail of the injured survivor? Yes, Uncle said, with a smirk. And perhaps when we finish this mission, we can have a private party this time. What do you say to that, Naruto? She asks, as Naruto blushed at the implications that Uncle Wink meant, and Hannah answering growl. As Naruto closed his eyes, his cheeks turned red as he scooped up Ed. Come on, Ed, let's go, he said. Must you do that? It's bad enough that my mother, said Hannah with a growl. So next time grab him first. Why, he's... Uncle smirk. Hot, powerful, blue eyes to die for, and a ninja. I was gonna say 16, nearly he's 17. Come on, Hannah, he's old enough to die for the village, and he's old enough to do other things. Your mom at least waited until he was 16, before she got some. If your annoying brother hadn't got between us last time, I would have beaten your mother there, and Naruto would have woken up in my bed. Hannah, stop walking. Get over it, Hannah. We've known him for 8 years now. You do the same thing I do, and you compare every guy we meet to him, even unintentionally. Yeah, sometimes he's bumbling and clueless, but how many times, when you or I, after a bad date, cried on his shoulder, and then later we hear that said former date entered into the hospital? As Hannah nodded as she remembered Ebisu comments. As she figured that Naruto was behind it, the Jonin wouldn't even come near her anymore. Well, he was a jackass. He deserved what he got. We could share, Uncle said. Hannah tripped over her own feet as Uncle laughed. I mean, come on. Your mom isn't quiet about what kind of lover Naruto is. At 16, he's made your mother howl. This next batch of genin, one of those skinny little trolls, might catch his eye. After all, they are the same age as him. Do you want one of the Uchiha fangirls set her eyes on him and end up crushing him? Hannah shook her head. She couldn't stand it when her own mother got her own Naruto. But her mother was the alpha. But if any of those little skinny bitches got her on him, she would grab them by their throat and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. As she shook her head, as her feral side was kicking in, as Uncle simply smirked. As she was thinking of this since Naruto's 16th birthday. Yeah, she was a bit older than him, but when he held her that night when she had cried, that was the safest she has ever felt in a very, very long while. He defended her against everyone, even when she was a bitch to him, that first year. She knew that he was heir to 2 clans and the restoration acts are gonna hit him when he was 18, but if she and Hannah is there, then they wouldn't have to share with anyone else. And besides, I trust her. She, besides Kurna and Naruto, has become my best friend in 8 years. If I would have to share Naruto, Hannah-chan would do. I would ask Nai-chan, but she's sniffing around Asuma. Hannah on the other hand was thinking about what her mother said, and what Uncle said to her. Do I really? Could it work? As she saw him laughing with Ed. After this mission, I'll talk with him about it. After this mission, she thought to herself. Time skip. Team Alchemy mission report. Naruto sighed as he sat in the hotel room, as he wrote out the mission report, as he heard Hannah and Uncle in the next room, laughing and talking with each other. Man, at least they're in a good mood, said Naruto, as he saw Ed on the bed sleeping. As Naruto returned back to his report, after separating from Hayate and his team, we continued to trail towards the sand, where we found the injured person, who we then found out was Aoi, a missing nin from Konoha. Upon reaching the sand, we were detained by the Kazekage guards, who thought that we were there on an assassination mission. Flashback. Hands in the air. Naruto and his team paused as he was surrounded by the guards of the sand. What? We didn't do anything wrong, said Naruto. Liar, we had reports that 3 ninjas of your description was coming here to try and assassinate the Kazekage. That's bullshit, Uncle said. We're a special investigating team out of Konoha. We're tracking a group of rogue ninja who are trafficking exotic and illegal drugs. We've just left the last place following a trail of "Shut it, you Konoha scum," one of the guards said. As the group hand was up, the man had a pike of sorts in his hand as he hit Naruto in the stomach with it. Hey, Uncle said. She moved forward, but Hannah held her back. Is this how you treat allies? Allies? As if the guard said, as Naruto picked himself up. I'll remember you said that. Yeah? And what if I did? The look on Naruto's face switched completely. The man staggered a bit in his movement, until a voice spoke. Hey, what's going on here? as a Jonin made his way towards the gate. Nothing, sir. We have some assassins here, trying to make their way into the city. Liar, we're from Konoha, and we're investigating a drug trafficking operation here. We follow an injured missing ninja here, but your gate guard said that we're not allies, but we're assassins, and he didn't even check our identification papers. Baki-san, this is what he said true? The Jonin asks. As the gate guard looked uncertain as he looked away. Yes, sir, he said. As Baki took the traveling papers and looked them over. Konoha special team. I've heard reports about you guys. As he handed the papers back. Your first time this time, he asks. Yes, know about the ninja that we were tracking. He would have come in 2 hours ago. His left leg would be mangled. Baki looked towards the guards. Well, you heard him. But sir, our allies require our aid. Would you expect less of them if we were performing an investigation? Baki asks. The guards looked down, but they wisely kept their mouth shut. We just came on duty, sir. Well, go and check the logs and find out who was on duty, said Baki, before he turned towards the 3 Konoha ninjas. I am sorry for the reception you had, he said. We've had several assassinations attempt on the Kazekage, and it's been very smothering, the atmosphere here lately. As Naruto waved it off, it's understandable. I think if that was happening to the Hokage, Konoha would tear apart the seams looking for the person responsible. As Baki walked with them, we'll put you up at the hotel and pay for it for the mistreatment, he said. Once again, I'm sorry, he said. In the flashback. Of course, it took them several hours to get said information to us, said Naruto as he wrote in a report. And another hour for us to track him. Tracking in the desert with ninja dogs is really bad. The sand goes up their noses. We then found Aoi hiding in a seedy part of the sand with beggars, thieves, and not good people. As we thought, his leg was badly damaged. There was a street doctor there that was having trouble healing him. Needless to say, you will find Aoi's head in this scroll, along with the report, and the Raijin blade of the second Hokage. It's time that we return the blade back to where it belongs. We, however, were not responsible for Aoi's death. It was in fact the youngest son of the Kazekage who killed the missing nin, Gaara of the desert, the container of Shikaku. Flashback. Surrender now and you will be taken back. A life to stand trial, said Naruto. Aoi snarled, realized that he was screwed as he pulled out the legendary blade that he stole upon leaving Konoha. None of you will be taking me anywhere when you're dead, he said as he balanced on his good leg. You're good, said Naruto, but you're not that good. You should know that you won't be leaving here alive. The street doctor backed away into the farthest corner as Anko and Hana separated to the 2 sides, blocking his escape routes. I am a god amongst men, I hold the legendary Raijin blade, and none of you brats will stop or apprehend me, Aoi said. As Naruto watched Anko moving towards the window. Oh shit, said Naruto as Aoi burst through it and made his way. Huh, some god amongst men. Yeah, and then he ran, said Anko, as the dog sniffed the blood, but they didn't have to because Aoi was not really that fast. As citizens started to scream as Naruto was confused, it couldn't be because of Aoi as he moved off with speed. Aoi turned as he saw Naruto catching up to him. Oh shit, as he jumped down. You won't catch me! As Aoi landed in his square. As Naruto saw a young boy with red hair, Hana heard several of the others call him Gaara and urged the others to run away. What's going on? Not sure, but they're scared of this redhead, said Hana. Out of my way, brat, Aoi said. Mother, so that she smells your blood. As the boy narrowed his gaze. You will justify my existence. I will justify your death, Aoi said as he swung the blade to strike down Gaara. But a hand of sand erupted from the ground and grabbed his arm. Aoi screamed as his hand was snapped in several different places as he dropped down to his knee. As the blade dropped away from him. You are worthless, said Gaara, and you're weak. But mother still wants your blood. As sand started to pick up around him, it wrapped around his legs, coming up on his chest. Let me go, you brat! I'll kill you, said Aoi. Gaara gripped his hand as the sand tightened, as bones could be heard being crushed, as blood started to drip from the sand. Gaara then turned his back as he started to walk away. as the sand returned back to Gara. "Whoa," said Uncle. "I've never seen anything like that before." "He's a Jinjulki," said Ed. "He holds the one-tailed demon Shikaku." "Uncle, get how his head and the Raijin," said Naruto. "Hana, keep a trail on him," said Naruto, at a distance. As the both of them nodded. End of flashback. It is with this discovery, Lord Hokage, that I'm going to use my knowledge of seals and alchemy to try and help Gara. From what we've studied in the last 3 days, his seal is unstable, and he suffers from insomnia. From interviews with the citizens of the Sand and their ninjas, he's feared. The Katsuhage treats him like he's nothing more than a weapon that can be used on Konoha. From some of the mutterings Anko and Hana heard at the local bars, "Be careful, old man. Things are not right here." I'm hoping if I can fix Gara's seal, I can make an ally. I'm sending Al to carry this to you personally. I will either be reporting as myself. If not, Ed will be reporting. If that is the case, something has gone terribly wrong. Either I'm dead, or charged with some crime. But something here is not right, because the Kage is not acting like himself, said Naruto. Sincerely, the Full Metal Fox, captain of Team Alchemy. As Naruto summoned Ed once again. "Brother," Al said, "you're not gonna shoot me again, are you?" "No, Al. I'm sorry about before. I'm doing better at keeping my temper, but sometimes it slips." "It's okay, brother. You have both your own and Ed armor to restrain. Alphon, I need you to take this to the Hokage personally. Make no stops, and allow no one else to read them." He opened his chest compartment and slid them aside. Anko and Hana has their own reports as well, so you might want to take theirs before you go. Al nodded as he went next door. As Naruto pulled out his journal as he looked at the runes and seals that him and Ed had spent the last 8 years working on. "Well, we're about to see if we can perform a miracle," said Naruto. "I just hope that we're as smart as we think we are, and that this actually works." As he prepared the message to meet up with Gara, and hoping the boy did not attack him before he could talk to him. Time skip. As Anko sat on the edge of Naruto's bed. "Would you care to explain why you didn't just capture him?" "Huh?" said Naruto. "Where's Hana-chan?" "Getting food. Now talk," Anko said. "Oh, there with Aoi a few days ago. You could have captured him easily, but instead you kick him off the roof. Not to mention while we were in the room. You could have stopped him before he even moved towards the window. I've seen you raise walls in seconds. I've seen you created hundreds of golems, and not to mention 100 other things, in the blink of an eye. So what happened?" As Naruto sighed. "Because there were sand ninjas around, and they were keeping an eye out. I wouldn't want them to see my abilities." Uncle raised an eyebrow, "But they already know." "No. Everyone think they know what they already know. And the prisoners, they are deuced with several toxin from Inoichi, and a mind swipe help with Ibiki," said Naruto. "You little sneaky snake," Uncle said. "That is why you were so pissed with Hatake." "I mean, yeah, the Sharingan can't help in my alchemy, but they memorize the motion," said Naruto. "So, the old man has a spire there that said that there's 2 people that can use small amount of alchemy, while one of them can use the array and potions part." Uncle paused as she scowled. "Orochimaru," she said in a hiss. "Yeah. And the old man's spies discovered that he wants the Sharingan," said Naruto, as he saw that look on her face. "Yeah. If he can find a way, then he will be able to use it. That is why I have to be careful. At least until Ed and I finish a few more projects." "And the other one?" Uncle said. "Huh?" said Naruto. "You said that there was 2 people. Who was the other one?" "I don't know his name. The old man has his best informant on it. He will let me know as soon as he can." They were quiet for a bit as Uncle asked, "So, you really think you can help the kid?" "Kid?" said Naruto. "He's what, a year younger than me. You're mature for your age." "Naruto, Uncle, I'm back. I got dinner," Hana said. "Oh, good. You're both here." Time skip. As Naruto looked at the 2 standing in front of him, while Gara stood in front of him, the blonde with the fan was over to the side. "You asked to meet me," said Gara. "Are you ready to justify my existence?" "I'm not here to fight you," said Naruto. "Then why do you wish to see me?" said Gara, as he was literally confused. "I can help you," said Naruto. "I can make it so you can sleep at night, that you will be in control. I can fix your seal, Sand started to rise up. Naruto sized he slammed his hand together before slamming it on the ground. The place glowed for a second. It was transformed from sand to solid steel. As Gaara Gort was gone. Now behave, said Naruto. As Naruto switched, as they were now facing the Full Metal Fox Alchemist. As I was saying, I can fix your seal and put you in full control. The girl had her fan out and she was glaring at Naruto, while Gaara was shocked. As Ed spoke up, tell the overgrown desert rat that the kid can free him from the seal. Granted, he won't be as he was, but it is better than being without a body. It talks, said Temari, and walks, and a pervert, said Naruto. Tell me, Gaara, do you want to sleep and be in control of yourself, without the annoying raccoon whispering in your ear? What do you have to do? Gaara asks. Take your shirt off while I set up the array, said Naruto. As Naruto looked towards Temari. You can join Uncle-chan and Hana-chan, he said. As Naruto looked down towards Ed, what do you think? A double array, 8 points each, said Ed. As Naruto saw the seal on Gaara and winks. Yeah, the person that made it so it would drive you crazy. As Naruto went through hands and touched Gaara's seal, Gaara flinched at being touched. There's also a second soul there as well. What? Said Ed. Time skip. As Uncle brought the supplies that Naruto had asked for. As Hana and triplets were guarding the door, with a redhead sister. Her name was Temari. They had another sibling, but he's too scared to be anywhere near Gaara. As Uncle wondered if Naruto would have turned out like Gaara, if he hadn't learned alchemy. Could do without the damn perverted fox. Uncle, how did it go? Hana asked. Next time we need anything from a monk, priest or monastery, you'll do it, Uncle said. As Temari opened the door, they entered to see Naruto join the seal array on the ceiling. As it matched one on the floor, Gaara was leaning his back, as his eyes were closed. He's asleep. Oh god, we need to... Gaara's eyes snapped open. As Temari calmed down, he's meditating, said Naruto. Ed and I haven't talked to Shikaku. As Naruto jumped down and landed on the ground, Temari saw that the room was still metal. How long does this jutsu last? Not a jutsu, and forever if I leave it, said Naruto. As he took the bag from Uncle. As Temari watched as Naruto pulled out oil, water, dirt, sand, wood shavings, white powder. Salt, said Naruto, as he held up the white powder. As she saw him pull out a stuffed teddy bear, Gaara's eyes landed on it. As Temari remembered he having one, when he was younger but it was destroyed. Now then, said Naruto, you all have to wait outside. This is gonna be hard enough, and I don't need any distractions. No one enter until I open the door, okay? As his teammates nodded, as he looked down towards Gaara. I won't lie, this will hurt like a son of a bitch. Pain is life, said Gaara. Temari looked uncertain. If anything happens, yeah, you'll kick my ass, said Naruto, waving off for a threat. Remember, said Ed, willpower and concentration. Gotcha, go, said Naruto. As Ed hacked onto Hana's shoulder as the door closed. As Naruto created metal all around the door, casing it shut. Are you ready, Gaara? You're a strange Uzumaki, said Gaara. I am? Yes, you're like me. But at the same time, you're not. I've had precious people that kept me from the path that you walk. Without them, I would be like you, said Naruto. But you weren't alone, your sister. Here's what happened about you. I will still be a monster, said Gaara. No, you will be Gaara. Shikaku will be in this bear. And the last spirit. As Naruto went through hand signs as the items form a crystal bracelet. It will be in here, said Naruto. As Gaara glanced over the beads that were left. What are the beads for, he asked. As Naruto slipped around the bear's neck. Glad you asked. As he doubled it into a color. A control color. I have a feeling that your demon is not balanced after being tormented for years by the second spirit. We'll make the control work while he's in there. Now, lay back down, said Naruto. As Naruto leapt onto the ceiling using chakra, he placed the bracelet and the bear on the ceiling. As he dropped back down. Alright, said Naruto as he went through hand sign before slamming his hand in the ceiling array. This is gonna hurt, he said. As the room became red, Gaara felt nothing until he screamed, a blood-curdling scream. Outside, Temari jumped, hearing her brother scream as he moved towards the door. But Uncle stood in her way. Not happening, Uncle said. Uncle was petting Head, who was purring. He said that this will happen. You bursting in there would hurt your brother more. Then save him. Temari fumed as the Heimlich triplet started to growl. As the group turned their head, "Shit, this isn't good," said Temari. She saw several Jonins, and the Kazekage making his way. Her father. "This isn't good," Hana said, as Uncle gave off a nervous smile. "Good thing Naruto's in charge, and you get her at the reports." "What is the meaning of this?" the Kazekage asks. "Kazekage-sama, I am sure that your agents inform you. What are you doing to my weapon?" the man asks. Temari scowled away. Her father referred to Gaara. "Fixing him," Uncle said. "He's unstable, and it's unhealthy for him." "This is unacceptable," he said as he heard the scream of the boy inside. "Stand aside immediately." "I'm afraid that we can't do that, Lord Kazekage. Our orders are to guard this door until Naruto-sama open it." "I will. Have you arrested?" the man said, as Uncle gazed narrowed. "I'm afraid that won't be happening, Lord Kazekage." As Hana sighed, she could already hear the headlines. "Konoha Jonin attack, Kazekage. Public relationship. Gone to hell." "Baki," said the Kazekage. "Arrest them. Or kill them, it matters little to me." "But sir, they are ruining my plans for my weapon," the Kazekage said. "Your weapon?" Uncle said. "Really? Since when is a Misen leader of the Sen?" As she moved and sliced. The man moved back, but his veil was sliced as it slipped off to the side. Everyone backed up, including the Jonins, as they saw the pale face underneath. The pale face of Orochimaru. Its serpent-like eyes glare at his former apprentice. "Uncle, you shouldn't have done that. And you should go eat shit and die, asshole," she said, as she pulled out several more kunais. As Uncle launched herself towards Orochimaru, as Orochimaru grabbed a nearby sand ninja, snapping his neck, using the man as a shield as the kunais embedded in him. Uncle did not pause, she jumped over the man. "Die, bastard," she said, as Hana wanted to move, but her alpha had given her a direct order, and she would not disobey. She had to protect the door. Damn it, Mom's right. As Uncle started to release deadly fire jutsus, as she was not holding back one bit. "Do something," Temari said. "Can't," said Hana, as she looked towards Ed. "Don't look at me," said Ed. "Do I look designed for combat?" Hana snorted. "Not without Naruto," she said. Behind her, the door opened up, as Naruto stepped out, looking really annoyed. "What in Kami's name is going on out here?" "Orochimaru," said Hana. "He's the one." "Yes," said Ed. "Ed?" "Yes, boss." "Sick him," said Naruto. As Ed leaped in the air, as Naruto slammed both hands together, there was a flash. When Ed landed, he was replaced. Well, it was Ed, but he was now large, as a massive tiger. He moved with immense speed. Orochimaru turned as he leaped out of the way. What the hell? The tiger pounced on him. He opened his mouth as dozens of snakes came out. Ed shredded them within seconds. As Orochimaru pulled out explosive tags out of his robes and threw them in the air. Boom! They exploded as Ed burst right through the smoke. But Orochimaru had substituted and vanished. "Damn it," Ed said, his voice sounding more rough and dangerous. As Naruto looked towards the gathered sand ninjas, the door behind him opened up once more with a loud swing. As Gaara stepped out, the sand ninjas backed away. As Gaara looked towards Temari, he rubbed his eyes sleepily. "I want a nap," he said. Screams filled the street as the sand ninjas rushed off, knowing what was going to happen, as Gaara was clutching onto a teddy bear, with a tail swinging back in front. "This sucks," the bear said. Temari's eyes widened. Baki, who was the only other citizen of the sand that stood there, eyes widened. "What did I miss?" said Naruto, as she snorted and simply laughed. Time skip. They spent 3 more days in the sand, as Gaara was enjoying sleeping, as Naruto wanted to make sure his adjustment held. The only complication was the raccoon, who just seemed to attack him every time. But he laughed and Gaara used a command, as it was forced, "Sit down." "Sit, boy." Shikaku swore that he would murder each and every one of them for this humiliation, but the beads were working perfectly. Baki now stood in front of the group as they were gathered in the Kazekage office. "We found his body. They stuffed it in a cave, a day's walk away from here." "We're sorry for your loss," said Naruto. "That Orochimaru. He peeled the flesh from him," said Baki in anger. "He's been known to do that," Uncle said, as she was leaning against the window. "I've discovered that the Kazekage and Orochimaru has been planning An invasion on Konoha. The three Konoha ninjas looked towards him. We are not following through with that, said Baki. As of now, I'm the temporary leader of the Sen. And after what you've shown me, I've shot down the council demands of Gaara as well. But it is bad, said Baki. If it is not safe for them, said Naruto, I can offer asylum for him and his family at Konoha, if you wish, said Naruto. Baki looked surprised. You can do that? Anko snorted. The only person above Naruto-kun is the Hokage, and 99% of the time the old man backs up Naruto plans. I will have to think about this. Take all the time you want, said Naruto. I already told Gaara and his sister. Tamara said that she will do what is best for her brother. The other one, said Naruto. I haven't met him, in fact. Every time Gaara approaches, he screams and run away. Baki nodded. That was a standard procedure in the Sen. Baki, have to admit, he nearly ordered the evacuation of the Sen when Gaara had took an afternoon nap, but nothing happened. What about the demon, he said. He's harmless. Gaara is in control of him. But do you care to explain the second soul, Baki-sama, said Naruto. Gaara's father, or former Kazekage, used the soul of a mad monk that was sealed away in an urn. I don't know why, but he always said that it would make Gaara a better weapon. As Naruto growled angrily, if that man wasn't already dead, I would show him a weapon, or 20, as Uncle smirked. I hope we can reform our treaty with Konoha, Baki said. Getting the group back on track. I'm sure the old man would be glad to hear that. As I said, Baki-sama, when we came here I was chasing a drug dealer. It was good that we stopped off here. Yes, it was. Time skip. So, you gonna miss the Sen? Uncle asked, as the group was making their way. A bit, said Naruto, but I definitely won't miss the Sen, as Naruto held up his arm. This has been a bitch to keep clean, as he held up the robot arm. Naruto-kun, why did you let Aoi get such a lead on you? Hana said. As that has been racking her brain ever since. Aoi was getting away, as she knew that Naruto could have reached him and stopped him, but he did not. Naruto sighed. Because there was too much civilians in the area, he said. And you have to admit, everything I do. Yeah, he's right on that, Uncle said. Kind of goes boom boom. And not to mention it was already hot. But still, he had one leg mangled. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Said Naruto. Nope. Not until you give me a reason why, Hana said. You're right, I could have get to him in time, but there was a girl there watching. She was no more older than 6, said Naruto. And I could not allow her to see violence like that. As both girls shared a look. They knew about Naruto's past and how he felt about children. Uncle swat him on the back of the head. Next time kick their asses and then make something for the children to forget. So, who wants to give Aoi's head to Ibiki, said Naruto. Oh, pick me, Uncle said, pick me. Oh, I don't know, said Naruto. What do you say, Hana-chan? Let her do it, because I want to talk to you. What? Hey, no way! I'm getting there first, Uncle said. You snooze, you lose, said Hana. Oh, I'm not asleep yet. And trust me, when I get him, sleep would be the last thing that we do. Please tell me that we're not having this talk. Here, said Naruto. As Ed jumped from Hana's shoulder to his. Look at it this way, kiddo. Your life is never boring one bit. I like Dull, said Naruto. I would be happy to be associated with Dull on a first name basis. As Naruto started to walk, leaving the girls behind him, he was nearly away until a wall of sand blocked his way. As Naruto heard Naruto-kun as he turned, he was enveloped in a hug. Both girls snapped their gaze towards Temari. Get off him, you bitch, said Hana, losing her cool. Temari looked towards them before she ignored them, and that just seemed to anger them even more. Hey, Temari, said Naruto. What are you doing here? As she blushed a bit, you left. Before we could say goodbye, Uzumaki-sama, as Gaara was standing on the roof as he jumped down. It's Naruto. My friends call me Naruto. Friends? Said Gaara. Well, yeah, you're my friend if you want to be. As Gaara nodded. Thank you, my friend, he said. As Naruto turned to see the three women, glaring at each other, Temari glaring back at them. I better get them out of here before the next ninja war starts right here, said Naruto. I told Baki about my offer, said Naruto. It's open for however long. Temari nodded. We owe you so much. You don't owe me anything, said Naruto as he held up the bracelet. I'll make sure this is disposed of properly. I think I know a couple of priestess or sage who know what to do. How about we stick up your ass? as Naruto turned towards the voice. Hello, Shikaku. As he saw the stuffed animal on Gaara's shoulder, it growled at Naruto. As it jumped towards Naruto, "Sit," said Gaara. It slammed right into the ground. As it squeaked a bit. "What made you pick that for a command anyway?" said Naruto. "I remember my uncle," said Gaara. "He had a pet dog. Whenever it misbehaved, he would order it to sit." Tamara smiled. "Will we see you again?" she asked. "Sure, you can write as well." "Don't know when I'll answer because the old man keeps up really busy," said Naruto. "But the Chunin exams are coming up in a couple of months." "We'll be there," said Gaara. "Baki said he wasn't sure," said Naruto. "We will be there," said Gaara. As Naruto smiled. "Well then, you two take care," he said. "Remember to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep at night, and make sure that you eat better," said Naruto. As Gaara nodded at his friend. As Tamara then hugged Naruto. "Thank you once again," she said as she pulled back. She looked towards the two girls, before she kissed him on his cheek. "Catch you later, Foxy-kun," she said, as she made her way, giving him a wink as she turned back. As Naruto saw the two girls, as they were itching not to start an international incident. As Naruto watched Tamara walking away, as she swayed her hip on purpose. As both girls came over and grabbed him by the ears and pulled him away. "Hey, ow!" said Naruto, "that really hurts." As Gaara held on to his stuff, beer as he spoke. "You know, Shikaku, people are really strange." "Get bent," said Shikaku as he growled angrily. But guys, if you ain't subscribed right here, if you want to see next part, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.